Okay. Let's do something most people never do with money: think small to get big. Because what if I told you, you could turn just $12 a week, the cost of one streaming subscription and a croissant, into a machine that pays you $4,000 every month for the rest of your life? Sounds impossible? Perfect. That means your brain is paying attention. Because the truth is, most people overestimate what they can do in a week and underestimate what they can build slowly, quietly, consistently, with the power of time, compounding, and a bit of financial curiosity. Today we're breaking it down: how 12 tiny dollars a week can grow into a $500,000 portfolio that literally pays you just for existing. And here's the secret: no luck, no lottery tickets, and no crypto gambling. Just good old-fashioned wealth-building strategy, the same kind the rich quietly use while everyone else scrolls through TikTok tutorials on manifesting money. Let's unpack it. Before we dive in, imagine this. You're sitting in your kitchen, end of the month, bills piled like a Jenga tower. You remember payday is still a week away. The fridge light comes on, and you realize the only thing left is half a lemon and an existential crisis. That was me not too long ago. Until one day, I stumbled across this idea of dividend investing. At first, I thought dividends sounded like something only professional bankers talked about while wearing expensive shoes. But after digging around, I realized it's basically this: certain companies share a portion of their profits back with you just for owning their stock. Own a small slice of a profitable company, and it literally sends you cash every few months, like a silent little paycheck that never sleeps. That shook my world. Because I thought, wait, I don't need to start a business, buy property, or reinvent the wheel. I just have to own parts of people who already did. Exactly. That's how dividend investing works. You invest money in dividend-paying companies, they share profits with shareholders, and over time those payments, when reinvested, start compounding like crazy. Here's the magic word we need to talk about: compounding. Compounding is the single most beautiful yet misunderstood force in personal finance. Einstein supposedly called it the eighth wonder of the world, and for good reason. It's when your money starts earning its own money. Then that new money earns its own money. And before you know it, the thing you started with is completely unrecognizable. Here's a quick analogy. Imagine planting one apple tree. That tree gives you apples. You plant the seeds from those apples, and suddenly you've got more trees, which give you more apples, which give you more trees. Fast forward 20 years, and you've got an entire apple orchard from one original seed. That's compounding. In finance, it means the dividends your investments pay can be automatically reinvested to buy more shares, which pay even more dividends, which buy more shares. That little snowball rolling down the hill, by the time it hits the bottom, it's an avalanche made entirely of money. So, you might wonder, why only $12 a week? Why not more? Because investing isn't about how much you start with. It's about starting. $12 doesn't sound much, but think of it like your financial gym membership. Each time you invest, you're building muscle. The amount may look tiny, but consistency is the muscle memory of wealth. And besides, $12 is a number almost anyone can manage every week. Skip 2 coffees or 1 pizza, and you've already funded your financial future. If you keep that up, over years, the results will absolutely blow your mind. Here's how. Let's build the plan that transforms $12 little a week into a $4,000 monthly paycheck. To do it, we'll use something called dividend growth investing, often shortened to DGI. The idea is simple: pick high-quality companies that consistently grow their dividend payments year after year. Not crazy high yields that look too good to be true, but stable, profitable, reliable businesses that keep sharing profits responsibly. Now remember this: the goal isn't to chase high dividend percentages. The goal is to find sustainable dividends, ones the company can afford to keep paying and growing. Because what's the point of buying a flashy stock that pays 12% now if it collapses next year? We want slow, steady, trustworthy growers. They're like boring friends who never forget your birthday, not dramatic, but dependable. So, how do you pick them? Here's how I'd explain it if we were chatting over coffee. You want companies or ETFs, that's exchange-traded funds, that have a strong track record of paying and increasing dividends. A healthy payout ratio, meaning they're paying dividends from actual profits, not borrowing money to look good. A product or service people will use no matter the economy. That means industries like consumer goods, industrials, healthcare, or utilities. The boring corners of the financial world often hide the most beautiful stability. Let's say you take ChatGPT's advice, and mine, and split your $12 weekly investment like this. 40% in SCHD, a low-cost, high-dividend ETF made up of solid US companies that have proven dividend growth records. 15% in NetEase, a tech-driven company that's big in digital platforms and gaming, with good cash flow to pay shareholders. 15% in Morgan Stanley, one of the world's leading financial institutions that knows how to reward loyalty with increasing payouts. 15% in CubeSmart, a real estate storage company that basically owns the boxes people's lives go into when they run out of space. Steady business, oddly recession-proof. 15% in Illinois Toolworks, an industrial powerhouse making essential products across dozens of sectors with a 50-year track record of raising dividends. That little mix gives you exposure to multiple industries and different growth rates, balancing both safety and potential returns. You're basically building a tiny international economy for the price of 2 sandwiches a week. Now, let's do the maths that makes your jaw drop. If you invest $12 every week for 30 years, that's less than $19,000 total money out of your pocket. But with consistent compounding, reinvested dividends, what we call a DRIP dividend reinvestment plan, and an average annual growth of say 10%, which includes dividends plus appreciation, you end up with roughly $500,000. Yes, $500,000. And that $500,000, if it produces a 10% dividend yield at retirement, will pay you around $4,000 every single month for doing nothing. That's not fantasy, that's simple math combined with discipline. Time is doing the heavy lifting. You're just feeding the system $12 a week like clockwork. Here's the funny part, most people waste more than $12 a week without even realizing. Streaming subscriptions they forgot about. Random apps with monthly fees. Takeaway coffee treats that add up faster than calories. If you track your spending for 1 week, you'll see hundreds of tiny leaks in your financial ship. Plug one, redirect it to investments, and your future will thank you more warmly than your Netflix account ever will. That's why this plan is so powerful, it's invisible discipline. You don't feel the sacrifice, but your future self feels the reward. Now, here's where everyone messes up, they get impatient. We live in a world that celebrates instant results. 2-day delivery, 5-minute recipes, 1-click shopping. But wealth doesn't rush. It grows slowly, quietly, predictably. And that's what makes it beautiful. Every time you reinvest dividends, you're feeding the machine more fuel. You're allowing your snowball to roll down the biggest hill possible, time. If you give it 2 years, you'll see progress. If you give it 10 years, you'll see transformation. If you give it 30, you'll see freedom. The key isn't timing the market, it's time in the market. Another quiet wealth secret, taxes. If you're in Europe, look into tax-advantaged investment accounts, like ISAs in the UK or equivalent shelters in other countries. Dividends in those accounts grow tax-free or tax-deferred, so your compounding isn't getting robbed every year. You're basically telling the government, I'm keeping more of my money to grow for retirement. Totally legal, entirely smart. Even Warren Buffett does this in spirit, he just does it on a billion-dollar scale. The game is the same, only the zeros differ. Now let's talk psychology, because this plan only works if you do. Imagine you're at the gym. The first few weeks, you feel nothing. Maybe sore. Maybe frustrated. But months later, a mirror shows what daily effort hid. Investing works exactly like that. You can't see progress every week, but your future balance sheet will show every single decision. Those $12 investments are invisible bricks in your financial fortress. Each one matters. Each one makes the next stronger. Before you know it, your money isn't something you chase. It's something that quietly follows you. One of my favorite parts of this strategy is how peaceful it feels. No daily trading. No stock picking stress. No emotional roller coaster. You set up automatic contributions, let the drip reinvest for you, and just keep living your life. The The system grows whether you're sleeping, working, or hiking in the Alps. It's the opposite of hustle, it's smart patience. And patience is the ultimate investment skill. Think of it this way, every millionaire's wealth story has two ingredients, money and time. You control the first directly. The second one starts controlling you unless you act early. The earlier you begin, the smaller the weekly amount you need. If you start at 25 with $12 a week, you'll get $4,000 a month by retirement. Start at 35, and you'll need $30 a week. Start at 45, and you'll need about 80. Same destination, different ticket price, because time discounts the cost of wealth. So if you're young, don't waste the head start. If you're older, don't waste another day. Either way, start now. But let's get real, not every month feels easy. Sometimes $12 might feel bigger than it sounds. Maybe life throws you a curveball, maybe you need the money for something short-term. That's fine. Missing a week doesn't break your plan. Quitting for good does. The beauty of automation is that it removes emotion. Set up Auto Invest at your broker, and you don't even think about it. It just happens. Pain-free, hands-free. You're tricking your financial brain into winning by default. Let's zoom forward decades into the future. It's a quiet Friday. The world hasn't changed much, people still rush to work, talk about rent, complain about bills. But you wake up, open your laptop, check your portfolio. The dividends hit again, another few $100s flowing in automatically. You smile, make another coffee, and think, all that from $12 a week. That's not luck. That's discipline meeting time. The real lesson here isn't even about dividends or math, it's about possibility. If something as small as $12 a week can grow into financial independence, what might $20 do? Or 50? The snowball effect multiplies beyond your imagination. And the best part is that you won't just build wealth, you'll build peace. Wealth isn't flashy cars or expensive shoes. It's waking up without stress. It's knowing the bills are covered, the fridge is full, and your time is truly yours. That's what building income through investment is for, freedom. Not showing off, showing up for yourself. So next time you're about to spend $12 on something fleeting, pause. Ask yourself, am I buying satisfaction for today or freedom for tomorrow? Tiny choices rewrite your financial story. The numbers prove it. Start small, stay consistent, and watch as the invisible turns inevitable. Because true wealth doesn't come from what you earn, it comes from what you keep growing. And when that $4,000 monthly income rolls in one day, remember this moment, the one where you chose to start. The one where you realized you don't need to be rich to start investing, you need to start investing to get rich. This is Finance with Sonia, reminding you, fortune doesn't favor the lucky, it favors the disciplined. Keep learning. Keep saving. Keep investing your $12 a week. 30 years from now, your future self will say the sweetest words you'll ever hear. Thank you.
This journey is built on strategy, consistency, and value. If my content helps you grow financially, there's a PayPal link in the description. It's not about the amount, it's the support that counts. Every bit fuels more value. Let's build wealth together.